Hi Lamai. Today we are going to start our next chapter. It is the learning curve theory. Right. So we are moving to our learning curve theory chapter. So we want to know what is learning curve theory, why learning curve theory is important, so how learning curve theory will apply to your examinations. So those kind of things are very important, right? So here this chapter will be tested in your examination with linked with some other questions such as pricing, your variance analysis, your standard costing question, or either it can be linked to your budgeting question as well. එතකොට ළමයි ඔයාලා දැනගන්න ඕනේ learning curve theory පාඩම කොච්චර වැදගත්ද සහ මේ පාඩම link වෙන්න පුළුවන් අනිත් areas මොනවද කියලා. Right. So we'll start. So this is our chapter contents. So here you can see we are initially going to discuss about the introduction part about learning curve theory, why learning curve theory is important, where it is applicable. So those kind of things we are going to learn at the initial part. Then we are going to discuss about what are the methods that we can use to learn about the learning curve theory. So here mainly we are going to discuss about three methods. Method 1, it is tabular approach. So here we are using a table, and here we are using some criteria. Using these criteria, how we are going to find the learning curve impact, so we'll discuss that one. Then method number 2, the graphical approach. Using a graph we are showing how the learning curve impact is. Third method, we are going to use the algebraic approach or formula approach, which is the method we are using most in your examinations. So that is our formula method, right? Then we are going to discuss about the relevance of learning curve effects in management accounting. So how we can use the learning curve theory in management accounting, what are the practical applications. So those kind of things we are going to talk. Finally, we are going to talk about the limitations of learning curve theory. What are the uh, drawbacks in learning curve theory, right? So this is the introduction part. So learning curve theory applies to situations where the workforce as a whole improves in efficiency with experience. The learning effect or learning curve effect describes the speeding up of a job with repeated performance, right? So here, if you analyze this definition, you can see learning curve theory applies to situation where the workforce as a whole improves in efficiency with experience. මෙන්න මේක වැදගත් ළමයි. Learning curve theory එකදී අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කතා කරන්නේ how our labor performance improves with their experience, which means if any employee doing the same job again and again, which means the nature is let's say repetitive. So if any employee is doing the same job again and again, here we are saying that particular employee's performance will get improved, which means let's say the first product he's produced within 5 hours. Let's say this is a bigger product, so he consumed 5 hours to produce first product. So when he producing more and more, let's say he's producing now 10 units, now he's producing 50 units, now he's producing 100 units. So for first units he consumed 5 hours, but when his production is getting more, we are saying he is learning about that particular process. As a result, the time will get reduced, which means for first unit he is taking 5 hours, for 10th unit sometimes it can be 4.5 hours, for 50th units it can be 4 hours, for 100th unit it can be 3 hours. Likewise, ඒ කියන්නේ කිසියම් සේවකයෙක් කිසියම් කාර්යයක් නැවත නැවත කිරීම තුළින් එයා ඒ ප්‍රොසෙස් එක ගැන ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. ඒ හින්දා අපි කියනවා මේ සේවකයා මේ ප්‍රොසෙස් එක ඉගෙන ගැනීම තුළින් කාලය අඩු කර ගැනීමේ හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා. right. එතකොට ඇයි මේක අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ? right. So here I'll take one practical example. So here you can see why learning curve theory is important. So here I have taken one example, standard cost of a product. So you can see how we are computing a standard cost of a product. So here you can see for this particular product we need 3 kilograms of material. Per kilogram you want to pay 15 rupee. So for one unit the cost will be 45 from direct material. So direct labor you can see 2 hours rate is per labor hour 10 rupee. So you can see 20 per unit. So direct other cost 5 and other absorbed overheads 10. So you can see total cost is 80. මේ සාමාන්‍ය යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන පිරිවැය රුපියල් 80යි. හරි. දැන් මෙතනදී කොයි අවස්ථාවේදීද අපිට ලර්නින් කර්ව් තීරයක් වැදගත් වෙන්නේ? So here you can see for first unit, how many hours we needed? We needed 2 hours, right? So 2 hours into 10, 20. So here you can see for the first units our cost is 80. එතකොට පළවෙනි යුනිට් එක හදද්දී ඔයාට යන cost එක තමයි ළමයි 80. එතකොට හේතුව ඔයාට labor hours දෙකක් ගියා. Right. So why we need to compute our cost? For our inventory valuation purposes as well as our pricing purposes. So here you can see to decide our selling price, let's say markup is 10%. So our cost is 80, markup is 10%. So profit will be 10. So if we added the profit to our cost, you can see our selling price will be 88. So සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ බාණ්ඩේ දැන් අපි විකුණන්නේ රුපියල් 88ට. cost එක 80යි, ලාභය 8යි, විකුණුම් මිල රුපියල් 88යි. So this is for first unit now. So here you can see this is for first unit. පළවෙනි එකකේට රුපියල් 80ක් ගියා, ලාභය 8යි, මිල 88යි. So when that particular employee producing this product again and again, let's say now he is producing 50 units. Let's say now he is producing 50 units. So here we are saying, let's say now he is producing 100 units. Let's say now he is producing 200 units. So in learning curve theory, you can see when an employee is doing the same job again and again, which means his job nature is repetitive, we say with his experience he is learning about the process. As a result, what we can do, we can reduce the time consuming per unit. So here learning curve applies only for this particular labor hour requirement, right? It won't apply for this material requirement. When we produce in first unit we need 3 kilograms. If we produce in 50 units means obviously we need 15 to 3, which means we need 150 kilograms. So if we are producing 50 units means per unit we need 2 labor hours. For 50 units we need 100 labor hours, right? So here per unit 5 rupee cost is there, so that is not relevant here. The main part, the labor cost will get impacted. Here you can see, if we assume in a normal condition per unit we need 2 labor hours, which means for 50 units we need how many labor hours? 100. For 1 unit we need 2 labor hours. For 100 units we need how many labor hours? We need 200 labor hours. For 1 unit we need 2 labor hours, which means for 200 units we need how many labor hours? We need 400 labor hours. තේරුණාද ළමයි? අපි එක යුනිට් එකකට labor hours දෙකක් යනවා කියලා හිතුවොත් යුනිට් 50කට අපිට labor hours කීයක් ඕනද? 100ක්. යුනිට් 100ක් හැදුවොත් අපිට ඕනේ labor hours 200ක්. යුනිට් 200ක් හැදුවොත් අපිට ඕනේ labor hours 400ක්. අපිට Here you can see if we produce 1 unit we need 150 kg. If we produce 1 unit we can say we need 3 kilograms. If we produce 50 units we need 150 kilograms. If we produce 300 units, if we produce 100 units we need 300 kilograms. If we produce 200 units means we need how many kilograms? 600 kilograms. So we are saying the learning curve theory will apply for this labor related cost. Sometimes our other variable cost can be linked with our labor hours. Sometimes here the uh, let's say this is direct variable, let's say this is other. So sometimes this also can be linked with our labor hour rate. So here in this case the labor cost and the direct variable cost, other variable cost also will be have an impact from learning curve theory. Sometimes the learning curve theory only applicable for our labor cost. If other variable costs also linked with this labor rate means it also will get impacted, right? So here in this example this direct material cost won't change, so it is constant. For 1 unit 3 kilograms, for 50 it is 150, for 100 units it is 300 kilogram, for 200 units it is 600 kilograms. ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නෑ ළමයි. නමුත් learning curve theory එක apply වෙන්නේ direct labor cost එකට, අනිත් variable cost එකත් labor hours එක්ක link කරලා තිබ්බොත් ඒකත් වෙනස් වෙනවා, right? එතකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි හිතුවත් එකකට පැය දෙකක් නම් 50ක් ඇදුවොත් පැය 100යි, 100ක් ඇදුවොත් පැය 200යි, 200ක් ඇදුවොත් පැය 400යි. But if we apply the learning curve theory, this time will get reduced. That is the learning curve theory. So here we are saying when this employee doing this same job again and again, what will happen? This time consumption will get reduced. එතකොට මේ learning curve theory එක apply වෙන්නේ නැති අවස්ථාවක තමයි මේ situation එක. එකට පැය දෙකක් නම් 50ට පැය 100යි, 100ට පැය 200යි, 200කට පැය 400යි. නමුත් learning curve theory එක apply වුණොත් අපි කියනවා ළමයි මේ කාලය අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඇයි? පළවෙනි යුනිට් එක එයා පැය දෙකකින් හදනවා කියන්නේ එයා 50ක් හදනවා කියන්නේ 50 බාරක් මේ යුනිට් එක හදලා. Which means he learned about this particular process, which means he can reduce the time. So here let's say the learning rate is 80%. So here just we are assuming, right? So here in this example I am saying if he producing first unit he need 2 hours, but if he producing 50 units per unit he need only, if he producing 50 units he need only 80 hours. I am saying here to produce 100 units he need 160 hours, to produce this 200 units he need only 320 hours. So which means you can see per unit time consumption here okay, we'll take this example. Here you can see now we need only 1.6 hours per unit. So here if we produce first unit we need 2 hours, but if we produce 50 units we can finish this particular work within 80 hours, which means per unit we need only 1.6 hours, which means per 1 unit we took 2 hours. For when we are producing our 50th units we can produce 1 unit for this particular time, which means here 2 hours, here 1.6 hours, which means the time has reduced because of the learning curve. So here this time is reduced by 0.4, that is our learning curve impact, right? So that is one simple example I have taken to explain what is the impact of this learning curve theory. But when you are going by method to other methods, so we can learn it easily, right? So here learning curve theory, here this is one simple example. So standard costing of a product I have explained earlier. So here you can see learning curve theory will be applied only for this particular labor related cost items. So here in this example only for direct labor. If this direct other also linked to this labor hours means it also will get impacted. So in this example only this direct labor cost, right? So here the labor the learning curve theory can be applied in these scenarios, right? These conditions should be there. At that point we can apply the learning curve theory. So here you can see the process should be largely based on labor effort, which means this particular process should be labor oriented. වැඩිපුරම labor යොදාගෙන අපි process එකක් කරනවා. මේ යන්නේ අවස්ථාවේදී අපිට learning curve theory එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Then if it is brand new or relatively short lived process or product, at that point we can apply this learning curve theory, because the learning curve theory won't be there for a long period, so it is short lived period. And for the brand new products we can expect this thing, because for the brand new things the particular employees have a lot of to learn, because the process is new, so there is a learning opportunity. So if they are learning this new process means they can reduce the time when the time passes. මොකද අලුත් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් ආවොත් අලුත් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් ආවොත් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ ළමයි, මේ සේවකයෝ මේ අලුත් ප්‍රොසෙස් එක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. ඉගෙන ගැනීම තුලින් එයාලට අනාගතයේදී කාලය අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. අපි දැනටම පරණ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් හදන්නේ, ඒකේ සමහරවිට දැන් ලර්නින් ඉම්පැක්ට් එක නතර වෙලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ ඉගෙන ගැනීම කරාට ලර්නින් කර්ව් තියරි එක නතර වෙන අවස්ථාවක් එනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ පළවෙනි යුනිට් එකට ආට පැය 5යි, දෙවෙනි යුනිට් එකට යම් ගාණක් අඩු වෙනවා. එහෙම ගිහිල්ලා 100 200 ඔහම ගිහිල්ලා සමහර විට 500 වෙනි යුනිට් එක යාට හදන්න පුළුවන් පැය දෙකකින්. පළවෙනි යුනිට් එකට පැය 5ක් ගිය කෙනා 500 වෙනි යුනිට් එක හදන්නේ පැය දෙකකින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් එතනින් එහාට ඒක ආය අඩු කරගැනීමේ සිදු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද අපි කියන මේක ස්ටෙඩි ස්ටේට් එකකට එනවා කියලා. So we are saying this particular learning curve theory will come to a steady state after certain situation. So those things we are going to learn later in this chapter. So when a repetitive task, so here the main condition should be a repetitive task, so the particular employee should do the same job again and again, then only this learning curve theory will be applied. So if he is doing different task means that today he is doing a different job, tomorrow he is doing another job, which means there won't be any learning curve impact. But if any employee doing the same job again and again, at that point we can expect a learning curve theory impact. So here we are assuming day by day this particular performance is get improved, which means the employee is learning and his time is reducing. So here we are assuming there is an incentive for staff to improve. There is an incentive for staff to improve, which means we are assuming the staffs are motivated and we are giving incentives. So as a result, what will happen, staffs will work in a motivated manner, which means he is working more better tomorrow. Day by day he is increasing his efficiency. And further we are assuming there won't be any staff turnover, so there will be low staff turnovers. අපි ඉන්න employees ලා ගන්න වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා අපි හිතනවා. මොකද staff ලා වෙනස් වෙනවා කියන්නේ නැත්නම් staff ලා අයින් වෙනවා කියන්නේ අපිට learning curve theory එකක් analyze කරන්න බෑ. අපි මෙතනදී assume කරනවා staff එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නැත්නම් staff ලා අයින් වෙන ගාන අඩුයි. මොකද employees ලා පරණ employees ලා ඉන්න තමයි එයාලට learning curve impact එක වැඩියෙන් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද එයාලා පරණ අය මේක කරන්න යන ගත වෙන කාලය අඩුයි. ඇයි? හේතුව එයාලා මේ process එක ඉගෙන ගැනීමක් කරලා තියෙනවා. අලුතින් කෙනෙක්ට යන කාලය වැඩි. මොකද එයා තාම learning කරලා නැහැ ඒ process එක. Likewise we say for the new employees it will take higher time. For the experienced employees it will take lower time because of this learning curve theory, because he learned about this particular process As a result, he reduced this time, right? So that is the basic introduction. So if you are not understood this particular process, please wait. We'll catch it on later slides, right? අනික් මෙතනට අපි කතා කරද්දි මේක හරියට පැහැදිලි වෙයි ළමයි. මේකේ සරලව අදහස තමයි කිසියම් සේවකයෙක් එකම දේ නැවත නැවත කිරීම තුලින් නැත්නම් එකම කාර්යයක් නැවත නැවත කිරීම තුලින් එයා ඒ process එක ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. ඒ ඉගෙන ගැනීම තුලින් මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? එයාට කලින් කාර්යය කරාට වඩා අඩු කාලයකින් ඊළඟ කාර්යය කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි පළවෙනි යුනිට් එකකට පැය 5ක් ගියා නම් අපි කියනවා පැය 500ක් විතර යද්දී එයා ඊට වඩා කාලය අඩු කරගයි. ඊට පස්සේ එයා 5000ක් හැදුවොත් ඒකට යන කාලය අඩුයි. ඒ වගේ නිමවම වැඩි වෙනවත් සමග කාලයත් එක්ක එයාට ඒ කාර්ය සඳහා යන කාලය අඩු වෙනවා. මොකද එයා ඒ process එක ඉගෙන ගැනීම තුලින්. That is learning effect. Right. So this example I explained where it is applied. So here this is the main area. So in a standard costing of the product, here you can see the learning curve theory, they can link to this particular labor cost, plus they can link it to this particular direct other area as well if it is linked with this particular direct labor hours. So these are the main three methods we are going to discuss today. So the tabular approach, the graphical approach, and the algebraic approach. Tabular approach, graphical approach, and algebraic approach. Here tabular approach. So here in tabular approach we are using two assumptions. Here we are using two assumptions. First one is the products, here output of the product doubles. අපි කියනවා tabular approach එක use කරන්න පුළුවන් අපේ නිමවුම දෙගුණයක් වෙන අවස්ථාවක. ඒ කියන්නේ නිමවුම දෙගුණයක් වී යන්න ඕනේ, which means our output should be doubles in continuous manner, which means first initially we are producing 1 unit, then we are producing 2 units, then we are producing 4, then 8, 16, 32. Likewise, if our output is getting doubled, at that point we can apply this tabular approach. The second assumptions we are using here, our learning rate is a constant percentage every time. Learning rate is a constant percentage every time. So learning rate is constant percentage every time, and our output is getting doubled. So those are the two assumptions we are using. So here this theory says cumulative average time per unit produced is assumed to fall by a constant percentage every time when total output of the product doubles. So cumulative average time is the average time per unit for all units produced so far. එතකොට මෙතනදී අපි කියන්නේ මොකක්ද ළමයි? මෙතනදී අපි කියනවා නිමවුම දෙගුණයක් වෙන අවස්ථාවකදී මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? අපිට ඒ සඳහා ගත වෙන කාලය constant percentage එකකින් අඩු වෙනවා. Which means here you can see here you can see here you can see our cumulative number of units. Here you can see unit 1 unit, 2 units, 4 units, and 8 units. Here you can see output is getting doubled. Here output is getting doubled here, which means here we can apply the tabular approach. So here they won't give our learning rate. So here they should give a learning rate. So here they have given, let's say 90% is the learning rate. So that is the constant percentage. So අපිට කියනවා අපි මෙතනදී කියනවා constant percentage එකකින් තමයි හැම වෙලෙම කාලය අඩු වෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ස්ථාවර ගානකින්. අපි හිතමු learning rate එක 90යි. learning rate එක 70යි. see learning rate එක 75යි. ඒකෙන් කියන්නේ පළවෙනි යුනිට් එකට අපි හිතමු කාලය විනාඩි 100ක් ගියා නම් ලර්නින් රේට් එක 80න් අදහස් වෙන්නේ එයා ඊළඟ එකකේ හදන්න යන්නේ නැත්නම් ඊළඟ අවුට්පුට් එක යාලට හදන්න යන්නේ 100යි 80යි කියන්නේ 80. ඒ කියන්නේ 80ක් කියන්නේ පළවෙනි එකට 100ක් යනවා කියන්නේ ඊළඟ සෙට් එකට යට යන්නේ විනාඩි 80යි. ඊළඟ සෙට් එකට යට යන්නේ 80 වෙනුත් 180ක්. ඒ කියන්නේ 64ක්. So here you can see if learning rate is 80%, let's say for the first unit he need 100 minutes. Here for the first unit 100 minutes needed. So here if learning rate is 80% means so their time will be get reduced. So the second set here they need only 80 minutes. So here output is getting doubled. So here you can see output is getting doubled. So here 1, then 2, 4, 8, which means our output is getting doubled, which means we can apply the tabular approach. Here in tabular approach we are saying there are two assumptions. The learning rate should be constant percentage and our output should be get double. එතකොට මෙතන කොන්දේසි දෙකයි learning rate එක ස්ථාවර ගානක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් 180යි output එක හැම වෙලේම double වෙන්න ඕනේ. නැත්නම් දෙගුණයකින් වැඩි වෙන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට මේ අවස්ථාවේ අපිට පුළුවන් tabular approach. Our first method tabular approach we can apply. So here what tabular approach says, cumulative average time per unit produced is assumed to be fall by a constant percentage every time when our output is getting doubled. So here in tabular approach what it says, the cumulative average time. So this is cumulative average time. So in tabular approach it says when our output is getting doubled, our cumulative average time will be fall by a constant percentage. එතකොට එකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය ස්ථාවර ගානකින් අඩු වෙනවා. එතකොට පළවෙනි එකක් හදද්දී යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය 100යි. විනාඩි 100යි. අපි යුනිට් දෙකක් හදන අවස්ථාවකදී එක යුනිට් එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය 80යි. අපි යුනිට් 4ක් හැදුවොත් එක යුනිට් එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය හොයන්නේ කොහමද? කලින් තිබ්බ තත්ත්වයයි අපි ආයෙ 180කට යනවා. Which means 64 will be our cumulative average time. When we are producing 8 units means our performance is now more improved. So we can compute it from the previous situation into 80%. So this is cumulative average time. This is not the total time. This is cumulative average time. එකක් හදන්න යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. එතකොට මෙතනදී ඔයාලට බලන්න පුළුවන්. Here it is clearly you can see if we are producing 1 unit, your cumulative average time will be 100 minutes. If you are producing 2 means the cumulative average time will be 80. If you are producing 4 units means your cumulative average time will be 64 per unit. If you are producing 8 units, you can produce 1 unit per this particular, you can produce 1 unit for this particular 51.2 minutes, which means if your output is increasing, here your time consumption will be reduced. Why this time consumption is reduced? Why here? Why this time reduction is there? Because of the learning curve impact. මෙතන කාලය අඩු වෙන්නේ learning curve impact එක හින්දා. ඔයා ඒ process එක ඉගෙන ගැනීම තුලින් ඔයාට එකක් හදන්න යන කාලය අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්. So here you can see cumulative average time. මෙතන තියෙන්නේ එකක් හදන්න යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. මෙතන මුළු කාලය නෙමෙයි. එකක් ඇදුවොත් එකක් හදන්න විනාඩි 100ක් යනවා. අපි දෙකක් හදන අවස්ථාවකදී එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන්නේ විනාඩි 80යි. අපි හතරක් හැදුවොත් එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න ඔයාට යන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය කාලය මිනිත්තු 64යි. ඔයා 8ක් හැදුවොත් එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න ඔයාට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය මිනිත්තු 51.2යි හේතුව ඔයා මේ process එක ඉගෙන ගැනීම තුලින් කාලය අඩු කරගත්තා. Right. So this is one simple example. Right. So this is the tabular approach. So in tabular approach, remember that there are two key assumptions. One is here we are saying your cumulative average time will be reduced at a constant percentage, which means your learning rate will be constant, and other criteria is your output always should get doubled. හැම වෙලේම නිමවම දෙගුණයක් වෙන අවස්ථාවක් විතරයි මේක යොදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right. So this is the example that I have taken in that Excel as well. So here if our learning rate is 80%, this will be one example. So here cumulative average cumulative units we can see 1 2 4 8. Here you can see our output is getting doubled. So here you can see cumulative average time per unit. If we assume for first unit we need 100 minutes, for the second units we need cumulative average time 80 because our learning rate is 80%, 100 into 80. For if you are producing 4 units, the time will be get reduced, so 64. If you are producing 8 units, our time will be 51 minutes because of the learning curve theory. Right. So here this is the average time now. So if we compute the total time, you can find the this column here per unit 100 into 1, total time will be 100 per unit. Average time per unit 80, we are producing 2, so total time will be 160. 80 into 2, 64 into 4, 256. Here 51.2 into 8, here you can see 409.6. So this is your total time. මේ තියරියෙන් අපිට එන්නේ ළමයි එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය විතරයි. මුළු කාලය එන්නේ නැහැ. එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. Cumulative average time per unit. So if you want to find the total time, what you want to do, the average time should be multiplied by number of units. So here you can see total time column. Then if you want to find the marginal cost, or if you want to find the incremental cost, what we can do, we can find the difference between this cost and difference between this output. So if you want to find the marginal time, what you want to do, we want to take the difference between total time should be divided by difference between output. So here incremental units 1, here between these two you can see incremental units 1, between 2 and 4 you can see incremental units 2, between this 4 and 8 you can see incremental units 4. So incremental time you can take from this total time column 100, here incremental time, the difference 60, the difference 96, this difference is 153. Then we can find the incremental average time per unit. Incremental average time per unit. So here incremental time should be divided by incremental output. So here 100 divided by 1, 60 divided by 1, 96 divided by 2, 153.6 divided by 4. Here you can see incremental average time per unit is continuously reduced. 100, 60, 48, 38.4. This incremental average time per unit is reduced because of the learning curve impact. Right? So that is the basic understanding up to now. Now we'll move to one question, then you can understand it easily. So this is question number 1. Here bottom mode anticipates that 90% learning curve will apply to a production of a new item. So here if it is a new item, which means obviously there will be a learning curve impact. And here they have given 90% is the learning curve. Right. Right. Then they are saying the first item will cost 2000 in materials and will take 500 labor hours. So they have given their first item cost informations. So they need 2000 in materials and they need 500 labor hours. Right. The cost per labor hour and variable overhead is 5 rupee. So here they are saying for in material cost for the first item it will be 2000, fine. The labor hours they are saying it required 500 labor hours for first unit, fine. And variable overheads also same, 5 rupee per hour into 500 hours, right? Then they are asking calculate the total cost for the first unit and the first 8 units. So here they are asking us to compute the total cost for the first unit and first 8 units. So how we are going to find this one? So we can note down this basic information they have given in this question. So we'll go to this Excel. So I have note down already the learning rate 90%, fine. First item will cost 2,000 in material, fine. Here you can see this is for first unit. Here you can see for the first unit material cost will be 2,000, fine. And for first unit 500 labor hours needed. So here they are saying cost per hour for labor and variable overhead is 5 rupees. So here both labor and variable per hour 5 rupees. So both included. So only we want to multiply this 5 by this 500 to find the labor and other variable cost. So material cost they have given and labor and variable cost 5 per hour. So 5 into 500 plus this 2000 will be our total cost per this particular unit, right? So 5 hours needed for first unit. So we need hours requirement for 1 unit, or for the first unit we need how many labor hours? We need 500 labor hours. So 5 into 500, 2500, that will be the labor and other variable cost. So other labor and other variable cost per labor per hour 5. So 500 hours needed. So 2500 will be labor and other variable cost. Material cost is straightforward, per 1 unit material cost is 2000. So we can find per unit the first unit cost will be 4500, right? So the average cost also will be same. Why? The cost is 4500, output is 1, so average cost per unit also will be 4500, right? So they are asking us to find the total cost for the first unit, so it will be 4500, right? So this will be the answer. This will be the answer, right? And they are asking total cost for first 8 units. Total cost of first 8 units. Right. Now we want to apply the learning curve theory. So first unit we need 500 labor hours, fine. Then they are asking us the total cost of 8 units, which means here you can see we can apply the tabular approach. Why? Here the 8 we can take as this way. output is doubling means here you can see when the output is doubling, or when it get doubles, here you can see 1 2 4 8. So 8, they asking the 8, the total cost of output 8. So this tabular approach we can apply. Why? Here it can be applied to a situation where the output is getting doubled, which means for the first, if they are giving any information for the first unit, obviously we can apply tabular approach when output is 2, when output is 4, 8, 16, 32, whatever. If output is these amounts, we can apply the tabular approach, because in this outputs only the output is getting doubled, right? Okay, so when we are producing the first unit, we need 500 hours per unit. So learning rate is 90%. So learning rate we have noted down here, which means in tabular approach we are saying when the output is getting doubled, our cumulative average time will be reduced by a constant percentage. So here this time will be reduced by a constant percentage 90. In previous scenario will be reduced by a constant percentage 90. Likewise, this also computed. You can see the time is reduced, the average time is reduced, right? Then we can find the total time. So they are asking us to find the total cost of 8 units, which means if you are producing 8 units means per unit we need 364.5 minutes. If you are producing 8 units means this will be our total time. So they are asking us the total cost of 8 units, which means the labor hours used will be 2916. So this information only we needed. So these are the additional information I have computed. So you can go through. According to this question, these informations are enough. This will be the required information. So let's assume a scenario without the learning curve impact. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හිතමු ළමයි learning curve impact එකක් නැත්තම් මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන්නේ කොච්චරක්ද? material 2000 ඒවා එක යුනිට් එකක් එකයිනේ. එතකොට 2000 එකයි 2000යි එක යුනිට් එකකට labor hours 5යි. එතකොට එක labor hour එකකට යන cost එක නෑ, එක යුනිට් එකකට labor hours 500යි. එක යුනිට් එක labor hour එකකට යන්නේ රුපියල් 5යි. එතකොට 5 ඒවා 500ක් 2500යි. එතකොට එක යුනිට් එකකට එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන cost එක 4500යි. That is our basic understanding. So per unit 4500. If you are producing 8 unit means our cost will be 4500 into 8. That is our basic understanding of 36000. අපි සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට හිතුවොත් එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන 4500යි. එහෙනම් 8ක් හදන්න කොච්චරක් යන්න ඕනද? 36000. එතකොට අපි හිතනවා එක යුනිට් එකකට යන්නේ labor hours 500යි. එහෙනම් 8කට යන්නේ labor hours කොච්චරද? 500 ඒවා 8ක්. Which means we are assuming per unit 500 labor hours needed, which means for 8 units we need 4000 labor hours. But in actual situation, what will happen when this particular employee is doing this same job again and again, they can improve their performance. As a result, they can reduce the time. So if without the learning curve impact, we need 4000 hours. With the learning curve impact එක තියෙන අවස්ථාවක ළමයි පැය 4000ක් කියන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මෙයා ඒ process එක නැවත නැවත කිරීම තුලින් කාලය අඩු වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා 508ක් බලලා පැය 4000ක් කියලා ගන්නෙ නැහැ. learning curve theory එක apply කරලා අපි හොයාගන්නවා කාලය කොච්චරක් යනවද? 2916ක්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලට පේනවා ළමයි පැය 4000ක් යන්න ඕන එක පැය 2916න් දැන් එයා කරනවා. හේතුව පැය 1084ක් අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. හේතුව මෙයා ඒ process එක නැවත නැවත කිරීම තුලින් මේ process එක ඉගෙනගෙන කාලය අඩු කරගෙන තියෙනවා. So this is the learning curve benefit. This is the learning curve benefit, right? Now here you can see, now they are asking the cost of 8 units. So per unit material cost will be 2000. 8 units it will be 16000. 8 into 2000. මේක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ ළමයි. material cost එකට learning curve theory බලපාන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද material එක ගැන අපි කතා කරන්නේ labor cost එක ගැන learning curve theory එක apply වෙන්නේ labor cost එකට හෝ variable cost එකක් link කරලා තිබොත් labor hours වලට ඒකට material එකට කිසිම වෙලාවක learning curve theory apply වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So here material cost will be straightforward, 2000 into 8 16,000. The labor rate is same, 5 per hour, but the hour requirement consumption will be reduced because of the learning curve theory. මෙන්න මේක තමයි වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. එතකොට එකට පැය 500ක් යනවා 8ක් ඇදුවොත් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් යන්න ඕනේ පැය 4000යි. නමුත් learning curve theory තියෙන හින්දා අපි කියනවා පැය 4000ක් යන්නේ නැහැ 2916යි යන්නේ. Which means our time is reduced. So as a result, our cost also reduced. So here you can see now our total time requirement for 8 units is 2916 hours into 5. So 14,580 will be our cost. So here you can see our total cost for 8 units will be 30,580. So if we are considering a scenario without the learning curve theory, our per unit cost will be 4,500 into 8, our cost will be 36,000. But here you can see our new cost will be 30,580 because of the learning curve impact. අපිට learning curve theory එකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි? එන්න ශ්‍රම පිරිවැය අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට අපි learning curve theory නැති අවස්ථාවක cost එක 36000ක් යනවා. learning curve theory එකක් තියෙන අවස්ථාවක අපිට cost එක යන්නේ 30,580යි. හේතුව මේ cost එක අඩු උනේ learning curve theory එක හින්දා අපිට යන කාලය අඩු වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා මේ පිරිවැය ඉතිරියක් අපිට හම්බ වෙනවා. Right. So here you can see the answer. As I explained, 30,580 will be the, here you can see when output is doubling, we can apply the tabular approach. Yes, here they are asking the cost of first unit and 8 units. So here you can see we can apply the tabular approach. Here cumulative average time requirement 500 hours, 450, 405, 364. Right. Here total time consumption they have computed. You can multiply with the average time by number of outputs. Then we can find the total time requirement. Right. එතකොට මෙතනදී ළමයි ඔයාලට පුළුවන් පළවෙනි යුනිට් එකේ cost එක හොයන්න. material cost එක 2000යි, labor cost එක 2500යි, 4500යි එක යුනිට් එකකට යන cost එක. So after applying this learning curve theory, we computed that to produce 8 units we no need 4,000 hours, we just need only 2,916 hours as per this particular table. So we computed this table and we found we need only 2,916 hours to produce 8 units. So here you can see we need only 2,916 hours to produce 8 units. So here to 8 units material cost will be 16,000. It is straightforward, 2 into 2,000 into 8. But the labor cost, here you can see labor hour requirement will be this much, 2,916 into 5 will be 14,580. So you can see if we are producing 8 units, our cost will be 30,580. So here 4,500 will be the first unit cost, 30,580 will be the 8 units cost. So if we found the average cost, here you can see if we are producing only 1 unit, our average cost will be 4,500. If we are producing 8 units, our average cost will be 3,822. එකම භාණ්ඩේ එකක් ඇදුවොත් 4,500ක් යනවා. 8ක් ඇදුවොත් අපිට යන cost එක 3,822යි. හේතුව learning curve impact එක හින්දා අපිට ශ්‍රම පිරිවැය අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ හින්දා සමස්ත පිරිවැය අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. So here you can see in if there's any learning curve impact, if we are producing more means we will get more benefit. So here if we are producing 16 means we can reduce this cost further. If we are producing 32 means we can reduce this cost further, which means we can sell this product to a lower price to the customer, which means we can have a competitive advantage in the market if we correctly identified our learning curve theory. තේරුණාද ළමයි? ඒතකොට learning curve theory impact එක අපි හරියට ඉගෙන ගත්තොත් අපිට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? පිරිවැය අඩුවට භාණ්ඩය හදන්න පුළුවන් සහ අඩු මිලකට විකුණලා අපිට වෙළඳ පොලේ වාසියක් ලබා ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. Right. We'll move to the question number 2. Right. So read this question ළමයි. Captain Mendes has designed a new type of sailing boat for which the cost of first boat to produced has been estimated as follows. So here they have going to produce a new sailing boat. So their first boat standard cost has been given. So here to produce their first boat they need material, labor and other overheads. So here the composition they have given, material cost will be 5 million per first boat, labor requirement will be 800 hours, so 5,000 per hour, so the cost will be 4 million. Overheads they have linked to the labor cost. So here overheads, remember in this question they have linked to labor cost, which means learning curve theory applies for the labor cost, plus in this question it is applied for the overheads as well. The reason they have linked the overhead cost to labor. තේරුණාද ළමයි? මේ ගානදී learning curve theory එක labor එකට විතරක් නෙමෙයි බලපාන්නේ, overhead එකටත් බලපානවා. හේතුව overhead එක එයාලා link කරලා තියෙනවා labor cost එකට. ඒතකොට labor cost එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ overhead එකත් වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා learning curve theory එක මේ දෙන්නටම බලපානවා. material වලට බලපාන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතකොට ඔයාලා තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන දේ තමයි ළමයි, පළවෙනි බෝට්ටුව හදන්න යාලට මිලියට 15ක් ගියාට යාලා බෝට්ටු දෙකක් හදනවා නම් මේ cost එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. හේතුව material cost එක වෙනස් වැඩි වෙන එක වෙනවා අනිවාර්යෙන්. නමුත් වැඩි වෙන වේගය එකයි. නමුත් labor cost එකයි overhead cost එකයි මේ වේගයෙන්ම වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ දෙවෙනි භාණ්ඩය හැදුවොත්, දෙවන බෝට්ටුව හැදුවොත්, හතරවෙනි බෝට්ටුව හැදුවොත්, අටවෙනි බෝට්ටුව හැදුවොත් මෙයාලට යන cost එක, එක යුනිට් එකකට යන cost එක මිලියන 4ක් යන්නේ නැහැ. එක යුනිට් එකකට යන cost එක මිලියන 6ක් යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක අඩු වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා අපිට learning curve impact එකකින් හින්දා පිරිවැය තිරයක් ඇති කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ හින්දා අපි බෝට්ටු ගාන හදන ගාන වැඩි කරන්න එක බෝට්ටුවකට යන පිරිවැය අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. If we produce more boats, the cumulative average cost can be reduced because of this learning curve impact. And they have given the profit markup as well in this question. So our profit markup is 20%. So 20% on our cost will be added and our selling price will be decided. So in this example, the first boat's cost is 15 million, markup 20% added, and our selling price decided 18 million. Now our question, if the learning curve is 90%, so here they have given a constant percentage and they are asking us to find out the total cost of 4 units. So they are asking the total cost of 4 units or 4 boats and average cost per unit. So if you are producing the 4 boats, average cost per unit or average cost per boat and possible selling price per unit. So I hope now you understood the question lamai. So try to do it in your own. So here they have given the information for the first unit. එක බෝට්ටුවක් හදනවා නම් එයාලගේ cost එක 15 මිලියන, ලාභය මිලියන 3යි, මිලියන 18යි එයාලගේ විකුණුම් මිල. If they are producing first boat, this will be their cost and this will be their selling price. So now they are asking, if this company is producing 4 boats, what will be their total cost, what will be their average cost, and what will be their possible selling price. So you wanted to know that first boat's cost is 15 million, means if they are producing 4 boats means obviously this average cost should be reduced, which means the current selling price per boat is 18 million, which means if we are producing 4 boats means we can sell our boats for a lesser price than this 18 million. තේරුණාද ළමයි? ඒතර පළවෙනි යුනිට් එක අපිට මිලියන 18කට විකුණන්න උනාට අපි එක බෝට්ටුවක් විතර නම් හදන්නේ, අපිට බෝට්ටුව විකුණන්න නම් මිලියන 18ට. නමුත් අපි බෝට්ටු 4ක් හදනවා කියන්නේ අපිට තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ බෝට්ටුවක් මේ මිලියන 18ට වඩා අඩු මිලකට විකුණන්න පුළුවන්. හේතුව අපිට කොස්ට් එක අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ හින්දා අපිට අඩු මිලකට විකුණන්න පුළුවන්. Right. So 4 units means obviously we can apply the tabular approach. So I have here we'll find out the answer. So here you can see here for the first unit they need 800 hours. For the first unit they need 800 hours. Now second units, fourth units. So I have taken up to fourth unit. So their learning rate in this question they have given it is 90%. So 90% I have taken. 90% I have taken. So first unit 800 hours. Then if they are producing 2 units, obviously time will be get reduced. If they are producing 4 units means obviously the previous time will be get reduced by a constant percentage. So here you can see cumulative average time is get reduced. මේ cumulative average time එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. So we can find the total time, average time into output. So here you can find. So we need to find the total time requirement for 4 units, 4 boards. In this question they are asking if they are producing 4 boards or 4 units, what is the cost. So here we want to compute the hourly requirement. So here if we are producing 4 boards, we can produce 1 board for this particular time requirement, which means we need this much of total time to produce 4 boards. So this will be our required information. So I have computed the cost as follows. So here you can see material requirement for 1 board it is 5 million. For 4 boards it is 20 million. 5 million into 4. Labor requirement for first board 800 hours. If they are producing 4 boards means we need here 2592 hours. So now we are producing 4 boards, so this will be our total labor requirement. Per labor hour our cost is 5000. So 5000 per labor hour, we need this much labor hours. So it can be units of hours. So this is number of units, so this is number of hours. So here 5000 into 2592, it will be 12.96 million. Then they are saying overheads are 150% of labor cost. So our overheads will be 150% of labor cost. So 150% of labor cost. Labor cost 12.96 million into 150% or 1.5. Now we can find the total cost of 4 boards. Total cost of 4 boards here 52.4 million. So they are asking the total cost of 4 boards. It is 52.4 million. Without this learning curve impact lamai, you can see per board cost is they have given in this question 15 million. So 15 million into 4, it should be 60 million if there is no learning curve impact. Learning curve impact එක නැත්තම් ළමයි එක බෝට්ටුවක් හදන්න මිලියන 15යි බෝට්ටු 4ක් හදන්න මිලියන 60යි. නමුත් learning curve impact එක තියෙන හින්දා ළමයි ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා cost එක අපිට අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා මිලියන 52.4ට. මේ cost එක අඩු වුණේ ශ්‍රමිකයා මේක ඉගෙන ගත්තා, ඒ තුලින් එයාට යන කාලය අඩු කරගත්තා, ඒ තුලින් මේ පිරිවැය ඉදිරියක් එයා ළඟා කරගත්තා. Right, so here this is without learning curve impact, this is with learning curve impact. So here now we are under with learning curve impact. So learning curve impact එක තියෙද්දි අපිට යන cost එක තමයි මිලියන 52.4යි බෝඩ් 4කට. So average cost per unit. So this is the cost for 4 boards. So average cost per board will be total cost divided by number of units, it is 4. So average cost will be 13.1 million. Then they are asking the possible selling price. Possible selling price will be the we want to add the 20% markup to our cost. So our markup percentage 20%, which means this is our cost per unit. So markup will be 20% on our cost. So if we added the profit to our cost, we can get the selling price. So here you can see possible selling price per unit or per boat will be 15.72 million. එතකොට ළමයි ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා පළවෙනි බෝට්ටුව අපි හැදුවේ මිලියන 15කට. නමුත් දැන් අපිට බෝට්ටුවක් හදන්න පුළුවන් මිලියන 13.1කට. කලින් අපි බෝට්ටුවක් වික්කේ මිලියන 18කට. දැන් අපිට බෝට්ටුවක් විකුණන්න පුළුවන් මිලියන 15.72කට. හේතුව ලර්නින් කර්ව් තියරි එකකින් ඇති කරගත්ත පිරිවැය ඉතිරි. Now you can see the answer. Here this will be your final answer. So previously the first boat we sold out for 18 million. If we are producing 4 boats means we can sell one boat for 15.72 million, which is lesser than our previous price, which means if we are producing more boats means we can get this cost advantage. As a result, we can sell these boats in the market for lower price. As a result, we can get the competitive advantage in the market. Right, so this is the importance of learning curve theory. So we are moving to the next method. It is graphical method. So graphical method, it is very straightforward. So here you can see graphical method is less accurate way of estimating the learning curve effect, but in your examination there won't be any computation on this. Right, so here you can see lamai we are using a graph to explain the learning curve impact. So this method will be a less accurate method to explain the learning curve theory, but in graphically we can understand how the learning curve impact is. So this is for understanding purpose I have given, but in your examination they won't test that much in this area as per my prediction. So here, but it's better to know about this approach as well. So here you can see the learning curve effect from the above example can be shown on a graph as a learning curve either for unit times or cumulative times or cost. So here we can show this graph either unit time basis or either cumulative time basis. So here in the second one you can see it is based on the cumulative time. Here this is cumulative average time. So ළමයි අපිට මේක ක්‍රම දෙකකට පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්. එකක් cumulative average time. එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලයෙන් අපිට පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්. මේක එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලයෙන් මේ cumulative total time. මුළු කාලයෙන්. එතකොට මුළු කාලය ගත්තාම මුළු කාලයේ වැඩි වෙන වේගය බලන්න ක්‍රමයෙන් අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. So here you can see this is not a straight line. This is not a straight line. It is here you can see it's gradually the increment rate is gradually decreased. So you can see this gradually decrement as a result of learning curve impact. මේක බලන්න මුළු කාලය නැත්නම් මුළු පිරිවෙ එක සමාන ප්‍රමාණයකින් වැඩි වෙලා නැහැ. මේ වැඩි වෙන වේගය ක්‍රමයෙන් අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට හේතුව learning curve theory. නැත්නම් මේක සරල රේඛාවක් විදිහට මේ විදිහට උඩට යන්න ඕනේ. කෙලින්ම සරල රේඛාවක් විදිහට මේක උඩට යන්න ඕනේ. නමුත් සරල රේඛාවක් විදිහට මේකට යන්නේ නැතුව මේක ක්‍රමයෙන් අඩු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ learning curve theory එක හින්දා. Here also you can see the average time per unit is gradually decreased because of the learning curve theory impact. So here for the first unit we need 5 hours, for second unit, third unit, fourth unit, fifth unit, likewise here if it is 1000 unit the time is reduced likewise. Here you can see when the output is increasing the average time will be get reduced. When the output is increasing average time will get reduced. So this is the based on cumulative average time. This is based on total time. So, but remember, Lamai, in the both situations, this reduction will be stopped at a point. So this gradual reduction also is stopped at a point, and it will be a straight line. Here, this also will be stopped at a point, and it will be a straight line because of the cessation of learning curve impact. ලර්නින් කර්ව් ඉම්පැක්ට් එක හැම වෙලෙම තියෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක කිසියම් අවස්ථාවකදී නතර වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා අපි කියනවා මේ කර්ව් එක මෙතනින් එහාට සමාන්තරව ඉස්සරහට ගමන් කරන මෙතනිමුත් ඒක එක ස්ථාවර ගානකින් එතනින් එහාට ගමන් කරන මේ අඩුවීම කිසියම් අවස්ථාවකට පස්සේ නතර වෙනවා. We call that situation as a steady state. This steady state is arising because of two things, which means we can't reduce this time for a for long period. After a certain period, this particular learning curve impact will be stopped. Here also you can see in this curve also the learning curve impact will be stopped at a point. Here also we can see learning curve impact will be stopped at a point. We call this learning curve will come to a steady state. ඒ කියන්නේ එතනින් එහාට කාලය ආය අඩුවීමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ස්ථාවර ගානකට එන්න හේතුව තමයි හේතු දෙකක් අපිට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. Here you can see there are two main reasons. Workers are at their physical limits and machinery is at its limits, preventing further increases in output. So the workers have their physical limit as well as machinery will have its limits. So because of these two constraints, we can't improve our performance further. ඒ කියන්නේ සේවකයන්ට කිසියම් කැපැසිටි එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මැෂින්ස් වලත් යම් කැපැසිටි එකක් තියෙනවා. අපි හිතමු ලේබර්ස් ලගේ කැපැසිටි එකේ උපරිම මට්ටමට ආවට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට අපි මේ කාලය අඩු කිරීමක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මැෂින්ස් වලත් එයා මැෂින් එකේ උපරිම කැපැසිටි එකට ආවට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට අපි කාලය අඩු වීමක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙම වුණොත් ඒ මැෂින් එක කැඩෙනවා. නැත්නම් ඒ මැෂින් එක අපිට යූස් කරන්න බැරි වෙනවා. කිසියම් සේවකයෙක් අපි ඊටත් වඩා ප්‍රෙෂර් කරොත් අපි ඒ සේවකයාගෙන් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ප්‍රතිඵලය ගන්න බෑ. කොයි සේවකයා ආයතනෙන් අයින් වෙලා යයි. මොකද සේවකයෙක්ට දරන්න පුළුවන් කැපැසිටි එකක් තියෙනවා. So we are saying if any employees reach to their maximum physical limit, or when a machine is reached to its maximum limit, we are saying it will be the point we are expecting the steady state. So මේ අවස්ථා දෙකේදී අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ස්ටෙඩි ස්ටේට් එකක් සේවකයන් යාලගේ උපරිම අවස්ථාවකට පැමිණියාට පස්සේ සහ මැෂින්ස් එයාලගේ මැෂින්ස් වල උපරිම කැපැසිටි එකට ආවට පස්සේ අපි කියනවා එතනින් එහාට ලර්නින් කර්ව් ඉම්පැක්ට් එක වළංගු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතනින් එහාට එක සමාන කාලයක් තමයි ඉස්සරහට යන්නේ. නමුත් අඩුවීමක් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. අඩුවීමක් වෙලා උපරිම අවස්ථාව තමයි ඒක. ඒ කියන්නේ අඩු කරගෙන යන උපරිම අවස්ථාව අඩුවීමක් වෙලා තියෙන උපරිම අවස්ථාව. එතනින් එහාට අඩුවීමක් වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන හේතුව තමයි මේ හේතු දෙක. right. This is graphical approach. This is for your understanding purpose. So learning curve theory will be easily understood by these graphs, right? Now we are moving to the algebraic approach or formula approach. This is the most famous method in your syllabus. So here we are using a formula to understand the learning curve impact. So this is very important, Lamai. So here your most of the questions can be tested using this area. This is higher possible area in your examination. So here you can see our formula is y equals ax into the power b. Y equals ax into the power b. So using this simple formula we are going to understand in the learning curve impact. So how we are going to apply this formula. So before applying this formula we want to know what are these variables. So y, this is our output. So y will be the cumulative average time per unit. Cumulative average time per unit to produce x units. If we are producing x number of units, what will be the cumulative average time? So if you are producing 1 unit, our x will be 1. If you are producing 2 units, x will be 2. If you are producing 8 units, our x will be 8. So if you are producing 8 units, what will be the average time? It will be y, which means what is the output we already taken using the table will be the y. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කලින් උදාහරණයට ගත්තොත් මෙතනදී පළවෙනි එකේ හදන්න යන කාලය දෙකක් ඇදුවොත් එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. මේ 8ක් ඇදුවොත් එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. මෙන්න මේක තමයි අපි කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? y. අපි කලින් y හෙව්වේ කොහොමද? මේ ටේබල් එකක් හදලා. ටේබල් එකක් හදලා අපි මේ එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය හො 16ක් නම් මෙතන තව අපි හොයනවා. අපි මේ ටේබල් එකක් යූස් කරන් හොයපු එක අපිට කියනවා tabular approach. අපි දැන් ඉන්නේ formula approach නැත්නම් algebraic approach. So here we are just using this simple formula and we are finding out the what is the cumulative average time per unit. So here this is very easy. So x will be the cumulative number of units, either it can be 1, 2, 8, whatever. So here there it is not necessary to output get doubled. So here we can apply any output level here. මෙතනදී අපි කියන ළමයි output එක double වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මේක ඕන අවස්ථාවකදී use කරන්න පුළුවන්. output එක 1 වෙන්න පුළුවන්, 2 වෙන්න පුළුවන්, 50000 ලක්ෂ ඕන ගානක් අපිට apply කරන්න පුළුවන් extra. මෙතනදී ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ output එක කීය වුණත්. A will be the time taken for the first unit of output. So A will be the time taken for first unit. So A will be the first unit's time requirement. So 500 hours, 800 hours, it will be the, in our previous examples here, this 800 hours will be the first unit's time requirement. In this example, 500 hours will be the first unit's time requirement. So likewise, A will be the first unit's time requirement. B will be the index of learning. This is very important. This B is new for this particular formula. The previous things, this cumulative average time per unit, we already learned in the tabular approach. The cumulative number of units also we learned. Time taken for first unit also we learned in tabular approach, but this B is new for this method. So B is the index of learning. මේ index of learning කියන එක හරි වැදගත්. මේ index of learning එක තමයි මේ formula method එකේදී වැදගත් කාර්යභාරයක් ඉටු කරන්නේ. So here we want to know how we are going to find the index of learning or B. So there is a standard formula given for that. So this formula we want to use. So log learning rate should be divided by log 2. මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි, log learning rate should be divided by log 2. So this log 2 always will be constant. මේ log 2 එක ගැන හිතන්න බලන්න, මේක මේ formula එක හැම වෙලෙම අපි ස්ථාවරව තියාගන්නවා. It will be constant. But the thing is this learning rate we want to change. මෙන්න මේ log learning rate කියන එක තමයි අපි යොදා ගන්න ඕනේ. So here, so this learning rate, remember here I have given that learning rate is the learning. So here learning rate should be a decimal number. Should be a decimal number. When you are using this log, remember that we want to use this learning rate as a decimal number, which means our learning rate is, let's say, 90%. So here we put 0.9. If it is 80%, we are putting 0.8. Understood? So likewise, what you want to do, we want to use decimal numbers for our learning rate. So B is the index of learning. Right. So just take your calculators and just try few examples. Here I have taken one example. When y equals ax into the power b, learning curve theory. So here you can see B is the learning index. So how to find log of learning rate divided by log of 2. Always remember, log of learning rate should be divided by log 2. So here you can see in your calculator, this will be a log button. So you can just apply and see log. Here you can use this log button. Log, let's say our learning rate is 80%, which means we want to put 8% means we want to put 0.8. So log 0.8 divided by log 2. Then you can find your index, this learning index as minus 0.322. When you're looking at your calculator, you can get the exact figure, 0 minus 0.321928094. So here I have taken it for 3 decimal places, so 0 minus 0.322. Right, so just try few examples. If our learning rate is 90%, what will be the learning index? If learning rate is 65%, what will be the learning index? Likewise, just try and see. What we want to change is only this learning rate. So remember, learning rate we want to use as a decimal place. This log 2 will be constant. So log learning rate divided by log 2. So we can find the b. So if we can find the b, means automatically we can sort out this problem. So b will be index, we know how to find now. X will be cumulative number of units, a will be the first unit time requirement, y will be the automatically our output cumulative average time per unit. Okay, so we'll move to an example. In the sample question I have given, suppose for example that an 80% learning curve applies. So 80% learning curves means obviously we want to know learning rate is 0.8. So learning index we can find, b we can find using that formula, log 0.8 divided by log 2. So we can find the b. Here learning rate, 80% learning curve applies to production of item ABC to date end of June. 230 units of ABC have been produced. Budgeted production for July is 55 units. Now this is an interesting question. So they have given end of June 230 units produced, which means our cumulative units will be 230 up to June. Budgeted production for July is 55 units. Now we want to know one thing. End of June will be the beginning of July. So end of June 230 is cumulative output, means in July we are going to produce 55 units, which means end of July we want to know our cumulative output will be how much? 285. තේරුණාද ළමයි? ජූන් අගවෙද්දි 230ක් අපි හදලා තියෙනවා කියන්නේ, ජුලයි වලදී 55ක් හදනවා කියන්නේ, ජුලයි අගවෙද්දි අපි හදන සමස්ත ගාන කීයද? 285. එතකොට ජුලයි අග 285යි, ජුලයි මූල 230යි. ඒක මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. Right. Now they have given the cost for very first unit of ABC, it is 120,000. So A they have given for the first unit, the cost is labor, this is obviously labor related cost, 120,000. So A they have given 120,000. B we want to find log 0.8 should be divided by log 2. X can be 230 or either we can apply 285. We'll decide it based on the question. Now we'll move to the question. What is the requirement? So here they are asking to calculate the budgeted total labor cost for July. Now what they are asking? They are asking to calculate the budgeted total labor cost for July. They are asking only for July, which means this 55 units in July we are expecting to produce how many units? We are expecting to produce 55 units. So they are only asking what is the cost for this July. So we can't find it out using this formula in a straightforward manner. අපිට මේ formula එක use කරලා එකපාර මේක හොයන්න බෑ ළමයි. මොකද 50 unit 55ක් හදන්න යන කාලේ අපිට එකපාර හොයන්න බෑ. නමුත් මේ formula එක use කරලා අපිට හොයන්න පුළුවන් මොකද්ද? යම් ප්‍රමාණයක් හදන්න යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය අපිට හොයන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේකෙදි අහන්නේ ජුලයි මාසය සඳහා විතරක්. ජුලයි මාසය සඳහා විතරක්. එතකොට ජුලයි මාසෙ වෙද්දී අපි යුනිට් හදලා 230ක් හදලා තියෙනවා ජූනි අග වෙද්දී. එතකොට මේ 55ත් එක 285ක් වෙනවා ජුලයි අග වෙද්දී. එතකොට අපිට මේකේ එකපාර මේ 55 හොයන්න බෑ. නමුත් අපිට 230ක් වෙන අවස්ථාවේදී හොයන්න පුළුවන්. සහ මේ 55ත් ඇදුවට පස්සේ 285 වෙන අවස්ථාවේදී හොයන්නත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් 285ක් හැදුවොත් යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය කොච්චරද? 285ක් හැදුවොත් යන මුළු කාලය කොච්චරද? 230ක් හදන්න යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය කොච්චරද? 230ක් ඇදුවොත් යන මුළු කාලය කොච්චරද? එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් 285ක් හදන්න යන කාලයෙන් 230ක් හදන්න යන කාලය අඩු කරොත් ඇත්තටම එන්නේ ළමයි එතනදී අර වැඩිපුර හදන්න යන 55ට යන කාලය. ඒ කියන්නේ ජුලයි වල කාලය අපිට හොයන්න පුළුවන් මේ විදිහට. So here we want to apply few steps to find out the solution because this is not straightforward. So we can find if we are producing 230 units, what will be the cumulative average time and what will be the total time. Then after this July production, our cumulative production will be 285 units. We can find at that point, which means at 285 units, what will be the cumulative average time and what will be the total time. So at 285 units, what will be the total time? At 230 units, what will be the total time? So we can get the difference. It will be the actually cost for July, which means the cost for this 55 units. So we'll see what are the steps we can use. So to sort out this problem, we need to calculate these three things. These three things we want to calculate first. The cumulative total labor costs so far to produce the 230 units of ABC. So we want to find out what is the total labor cost if we are producing 230 units, which means the cost at June end. Cumulative total labor cost to produce 285 units, which means after July. After July, with this July production, our after July cumulative production will be 285. So what is the total labor cost if we are producing 285 units? What is the total labor cost if we are producing 230 units? Now what we can do, we can take the extra cost of this 55 units, which means we can take the total cost of 285 units minus 230 units total labor cost. So the difference will be the incremental cost of this 55 units, which means it will be the relevant cost for July month. තේරෙනවද ළමයි? එතකොට මේකෙදි මොකද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? යුනිට් 230ක් හැදුවොත් යන සාමාන්‍ය cost එක හොයලා අපිට පුළුවන් මුළු පිරිවැය හොයන්න. ඒකක 285ක් හැදුවොත් අපිට යන සාමාන්‍ය පිරිවැය හොයලා මුළු පිරිවැය හොයන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මුළු පිරිවැය දෙකේ වෙනස 285ක් හැදුවොත් යන මුළු පිරිවැය සහ 230ක් හැදුවොත් යන මුළු පිරිවැය දෙකේ වෙනස තමයි මේ ඒකක 55ට යන පිරිවැය වෙන්නේ, which means it will be the relevant cost for July month. Understood? Hope you understood this steps. Okay, we'll go step by step. So here you can, so this is our formula. I have taken a screenshot. The formula for the learning curve theory. So y equal ax into the power b. So learning rate, I explained. Learning rate we want to take as a decimal place. So 80% means in this question it is 80%, which means it should be 0.8. Fine. End of June, our production is cumulative production is 230 units. Cumulative output is 230 units end of June. Budgeted production for July 55 units. So I have noted down those information. Budgeted production for July 55 units. First unit cost is 120,000, which means A. January, which means first unit's cost 120,000. So you can see in this formula we need y, we are going to find out A, X and B we needed. So A, they have given 120,000. A, they have given 120,000. B, how to find the B? There is a formula given for B. Log learning rate should be divided by log 2. So log learning rate, here the learning rate is 80%, which means 0.8. So log learning rate, log 0.8 divided by log 2. Using your calculator, you can find out this answer. Minus 0.322. I have rounded up the answer for 3 decimal places. Right. So if our X, cumulative output, let's take the first scenario. If our cumulative output is 230, So if x is 230, what will happen? We can apply and see if our cumulative output is 230. So x is 230, a is 120,000, b is, after applying this formula, minus 0.322. So here you can see I have applied this formula. A, so a 120,000 multiplied by x into the power b no here. So x, cumulative number of output 230 into the power. So here you can use mod button in your calculator. Then minus 0.322, your learning index b. So you can find out, you can find out 20,830. Approximately we can take 20,830. So let's say 20,830. So this is your y. So y equals to 20,830. So what does it mean y? Y is the cumulative average time per unit. So this is cumulative average time per unit. So remember that this is the average time. This is the average time, which means if we are producing 230 units, means we can produce 1 unit at this time. Clear? So this is not the total time. If you are producing 230 units, this will be the average time per unit. එතකොට දෙකක 230ක් හදනවා නම් එක යුනිට් එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය තමයි 20830ක් කියන්නේ. මේ මුළු කාලය නෙමෙයි. මොකද මේ සූත්‍රයෙන් එන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. එකකට යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය තමයි y කියන්නේ. So cumulative average time per unit. So here cumulative average time per unit will be 20,830. So how to find the total time? So total time to produce 230 units. එතකොට ඒකක 230ක් හදන්න යන සමස්ත කාලය නැත්නම් මුළු කාලය බලන්නේ කොහොමද? Per unit time multiplied by output. එකකට යන කාලය වැඩි කරනවා මුළු කියන්නේ minimum ප්‍රමාණය. So we can find this will be the total time or cost. So in this question they have given the cost. ඒ කියන්නේ හැම වෙලෙම කාලෙම දෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. පිරිවැය දුන්නොත් පිරිවැය තමයි එන්නේ. So in this question they have given, this is not the time, they have given the cost, which means this will be the cumulative average cost. This will be the average cost, which means this will be the total cost. Either it can be total time or here in this question they have given in cost. මේ ගානේ යාලා දීලා තියෙන්නේ පිරිවැය. ඒ හින්දා අපිට මේ ඉන්නේ මුළු පිරිවැය. මේ labor related total cost we can identify 4,790,900. So this will be the total cost if we produced 230 units. This will be the average cost per unit if we produce 230 units. Understood? So here you can see if we produced 230 units, our average cost per unit or cumulative average cost per unit will be 20,830, which I computed here. If you want to find the total cost, what you want to do, this average cost should be multiplied by 230 our output. So we can find this amount. So we'll come to it later. So B, now what we are going to do, now we are assuming, and now we are going to find if the end of July. Now we are going to find the end of July. Alright. End of July, what will happen? End of July, what will happen? Our X will be 285. Why? At the beginning it is 230. In July we are expecting to produce 55, which means end of July it will be 285. Now just we want to apply 285 for x. පොඩි දෙයක් කරන්න තියෙන ළමයි මේ සූත්‍රයේ x ට 285 ආදේශ කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. Other things will be same. So a will be same, b will be same. Only thing x will get changed. X විතරයි වෙනස් කරන්නේ. If x get changed, what will happen? Your average cost per unit will become 19,441. So I have applied it already. A won't change, b won't change, only 285. This x will get changed. As a result, our cumulative average time will come to this amount. So cumulative average time approximately it is 19,440. තේරුණාද ළමයි? එහෙනම් එක එක 285ක් හැදුවොත් එක එකට යන කාලය නැත්තම් කාලයෙන් බැලුවොත් කාලය මේ ගානේ නම් පිරිවැය දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ හින්දා අපි මේක කියනවා එක එකයක් හදන්න යන පිරිවැය. ඒ කියන්නේ labor related cost එක මෙතනින් අදහස් වෙන්නේ එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන පිරිවැය 19440යි. අපි කලින් 230ක් ඇදුවොත් එක යුනිට් එකක් හදන්න යන cost එක 20830යි. So this is per unit cost, this is per unit cost. So per unit cost output. So per unit cost can be multiplied by our output. So we can find the total cost at the unit output level 285 units. Here 20,830 we can multiply it by 230 and we can find the total cost at output level of 230. එතකොට output level එක 230 දී අපිට මුළු පිරිවැය හොයන්න පුළුවන්. Output level එක 285 දී මුළු පිරිවැය හොයන්න පුළුවන්. So here what we want to do, we want to find the total cost. So here average cost per unit at 230. එතකොට 230 extra දාලා අපි හෙව්වොත් අපිට නා y 20.83ක් 285 දාලා හෙව්වොත් අපිට එනවා 19.44ක්. So here this is already computed. So we can find the total cost. So here in my example I have computed it already. Here I said per unit, if it is the cost 20,830, our total cost will be this much, 4,790,900. So here you can see it. If our output level here if our output level is 285, we have taken this figure as 19,440 approximately into 285. This will be our output. So our total cost will be 5,540,400. So 5,540,400. So here you can see the total cost. එතකොට 230ක් හදනවා නම් මේ යන මුළු පිරිවැය 285ක් හදනවා නම් මේ යන මුළු පිරිවැය. So we can get the difference between these two. It is 749.5, which means this incremental cost for this additional 55 units. So here you can see incremental cost for additional 55 units, 749.5 in thousands, or in other words it is 749,500 in rupees. Clear? Right, so this is the answer. They are asking in this question, they are asking what is the budgeted total labor cost for July. So in July we are expecting to produce 55 units, which means this incremental cost will be the budgeted cost for July. එතකොට අපි ජුලයි මාස බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන 55ක් හදන්න. ඒක 55 හදන්න යන cost එක තමයි මේක. Clear? So if you want to find the per unit cost, what we can do, එක unit එකකට යන cost එක හැවුවොත් අපිට හොයන්න පුළුවන් කොහමද මේ ජුලයි මාසයේ සඳහා යන cost එක. ජුලයි මාසයේ අපි හදන 55ක්. එතකොට ජුලයි මාසයේ සඳහා යන cost එක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒක 55න් බෙදුවොත් එක එකකට යන cost එක අපිට හොයන්න පුළුවන්. So approximately we can say 13,630 will be the average cost per unit in July month. In July month we are going to produce 55 units. In July month our cost will be 749,500. 749,500 will be the July month cost. In July month we are going to produce 55 units, which means average cost we can say in July month per unit it will be 13,630. Understood? Hope you understood this question. Just have a look on this try to do it in your own, then you will understand this. If there's any doubt, please come back to me. I'll help you out how to sort out this problem, right? So remember this, in this formula method we can apply any output level for x and we can find out the answer very quickly. A can be either time or either it can be a cost for first unit, right? A කියන එක හැම වෙලෙම කාලෙම දෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ළමයි. කාලය හෝ පිරිවැය දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට ඒ දෙන දේ නියමිත පරිදි ආදේශ කරන්න තියෙන්නේ විභාගෙදී. right. අපි තව උදාහරණයක් බලමු. So we will go to another question. So this is I marked as an important question, so I have put a star mark there. Here you can see this is a very critical question. In this question you can see here they are given a company needs to calculate a new standard cost for one of its products. When the product was introduced, the standard variable cost of the first unit was as follows. So here they have given the standard cost of first unit. So direct material 10 kilograms needed, per kilogram 3000, so 30,000 will be the material cost. So this is constant, right? If they are producing 1 unit, the material cost will be 30,000. If they are producing 2 units, it will be 60,000. If you are producing 3, it will be 90,000. Likewise, it is straightforward. So there is no impact for this material cost because of this learning curve theory. But here direct labor 10 hours needed for first unit, 9,000 per hour. So 9 into 10, 90,000. So this is very critical because when they are producing more, what will happen? This time requirement will get reduced. So to understand this, we can use tabular approach or algebraic approach, but here I mostly suggesting that algebraic approach will be more appropriate, right? Variable overheads 10 hours at 5,000 per hour, so 5 into 10, 50,000. So our total cost per first unit will be 170,000. So here remember lamai, this direct labor cost and variable cost both are related to our labor hours 10 hours. So this is for first unit. So remember this both will get changed when the time passes, which means if the learning curve applies, what will happen? This time requirement will be get reduced. So පළවෙනි unit එක හදන්න පැය 10 ගාන ගියාට මතක තියාගන්න unit ගාන වැඩි වෙද්දි මේ කාලය අඩු වෙනවා. එතකොට මේ පිරිවේ අපි analyze කරොත් material cost එකට impact එකක් නැහැ. නමුත් direct labor සහ variable overhead cost එක වෙනස් වෙනවා මේ learning curve impact එක ආදේශ කරලා බැලුවොත්, right? So during the following year a 90% learning curve was observed. So they have observed this scenario and they are giving the learning rate as 90%. So we have in this learning rate now. The cumulative production at the end of third quarter was 50 units and budgeted production for fourth quarter 10 units. Now this is similar to your previous question. End of third quarter our cumulative units are 50, like previous question similar to end of June. එතකොට කලින් ගානේ ජූනි මාසයේ අග මෙතන දීලා තියෙනවා තුන්වෙනි කාර්තුව අවසානයේදී යුනිට් 50ක් හදලා තියෙනවා. හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවට යුනිට් 10ක් එයාලා බජට් කරනවා. So here in this question for the fourth quarter they are budgeting 10 units, which means after fourth quarter we want to know our cumulative units will become 60. අපිට මේක තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන දේ තමයි හතරවෙනි කාර්තුව අවසන් වුණාට පස්සේ අපේ නිමවුම 60ක් දක්වා වැඩි වෙනවා කියන එක. මොකද තුන්වෙනි කාර්තුව අවසානයේදී 50යි, හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ අපි 10ක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. එන හතරවෙනි කාර්තුව අවසානයේ වෙද්දී සමස්ත නිමවුම 60ක් දක්වා වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට x 50යිදී සහ x 60යිදී අපිට මේක ඇනලයිස් කරොත් x 50යිදී x 60යිදී ඇනලයිස් කරොත් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? මේ දෙකේ වෙනස තමයි මේ හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ යන යුනිට් 10. So here in this question we'll go to their requirement. So here their requirement will be calculate the standard cost per unit for the fourth quarter assuming that the 90% learning curve is still applies. So here they are asking the calculate the standard cost per unit. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි යාලා අහන දේ. So they are asking the standard cost per unit, not the cost for fourth quarter. They can ask either for cost for fourth quarter, which means the cost for this 10 units. Here they are asking the cost per unit, which means we want to find the total cost for fourth quarter and we should divide by 10, then we can find the standard cost per unit in fourth quarter. තේරුණාද ළමයි? මේකේ හතරවෙනි ක්වාර්තුවේ පිරිවේ හැවුවොත් අපිට පුළුවන් x ට 60 දාලා x ට 50 දාලා ඒ දෙකේ වෙනස හැවුවොත් අපිට එනවා හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ යන පිරිවැය. මෙතනදී අහන්නේ ඒක නෙමෙයි හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ එක යන පිරිවැය. එහෙනම් මොකක්ද වෙන්න ඕනේ? හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ පිරිවැය හොයලා අපි 10න් බෙදන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ එක යන පිරිවැය හොයන්න. So here they are assuming this learning curve impact still applies. එතකොට මෙතන learning curve impact එක තිබ්බොත් අපි ඒකේ okay, the second requirement, calculate the standard cost per unit for the fourth quarter assuming the learning curve had reached a steady state. So here the second question is interesting. Here they are saying assuming this particular learning curve impact is coming to a steady state. Okay, we'll see at which point it's coming to a steady state. So here they are saying peak efficiency was reached after the fifth unit was produced. Peak efficiency was reached after the fifth unit was produced. So here they are saying after the 50th unit they are coming to a steady state, which means their maximum efficiency or the peak efficiency they are achieving at 50th unit. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේකෙන් කියන්නේ? අපි අර කලින් කතා කරපු විදිහට එයාලා අඩුම කාලයක් වාර්තා කරන්නේ 50 වෙනි එකකේ හැදුවට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට කාලය අඩු කරගන්න බෑ. ඇයි හේතු දෙකක් මම කලින් කිව්වා. එම්ප්ලොයිස් ලගේ ෆිසිකල් කැපැසිටි එකට රීච් වුණාට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට කාලය අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මැෂින්ස් වල කැපැසිටි එකට රීච් වුණාට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාටත් ඵලදායීතාවය අඩු කරගන්න බෑ. එතකොට මේ හේතු දෙකින් හින්දා මේක ස්ටෙඩි ස්ටේට් එකකටපත් වෙනවා 50 වෙනි එකකින් පස්සේ. එතකොට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? 50 වෙනි එකකින් පස්සේ මේක ස්ටෙඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ 50 ඉඳන් 60 දක්වා, ඒ කියන්නේ 50න් පස්සේ 51 ඉඳන් 60 දක්වා අපිට එන්නේ එක කාලයක්. Because the particular learning curve theory is coming to a steady state. Clear? Which means what you want to do then? We want to find the 50th units time. මෙතනදී මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕනේ? කෙලින්ම හොයන්න බෑ. අපිට ඕනේ 50 වෙනි එකකේ කාලය හොයාගත්තොත් 50 වෙනි එකකේ කාලය තමයි එතනින් එහාට නිතරම අපිට ඇප්ලයි කරන්න වෙන්නේ. ඇයි? එතනින් එහාට ස්ථාවර වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒකක 50 දී යාගේ උපරිම ඵලදායීතාවයට ඇවිල්ලා එතනින් එහාට ස්ථාවර වෙනවා. ඒතකොට 50 වෙනි ඒකකයේ කාලය අපිට හරි වැදගත්. ඒතකොට 50 වෙනි ඒකකයේ කාලය හොයන්න බෑ කෙලින්ම. 50 වෙනි ඒකකයේ කාලය හොයන්න නම් මොකද්ද කරන්න පුළුවන්? අපිට පුළුවන් එක්ස්ට්‍රා ආදේශ කරන්න 50. එතකොට අපිට එනවා 50 දී එක එකට යන කාලය වැඩි කරන 50න් 50 මුළු කාලය හොයන්න පුළුවන් සහ 49 ආදේශ කරලා අපිට පුළුවන් මොකද්ද 49ක් හැදුවොත් යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය 49ට යන මුළු කාලය. So 49ට යන මුළු කාලය සහ 50ට යන මුළු කාලය අතර වෙනස තමයි මොකද්ද 50 වෙනි එකකට යන කාලය. Okay. අපි ඒ ගාන හදද්දී අපි කතා කරමු. Okay, we'll move to the first one. Part A. We'll move to part A. So in part A, forget about this part B now. In part A, what they are saying 90% learning curve theory is applied. Okay. මෙතනදී 90ක learning curve theory එකක් තියෙනවා. So so here what we can do, we can use this particular formula y equals ax into the power b. So b, how to find? Learning rate is 90%, log 0.9 divided by log 2. So we can find the b. A will be, what will be the A? A will be the time requirement for first unit. It will be 10 hours. So A will be 10. Then x will be 50 and 60. Cumulative units. End of the third quarter 50. So we can apply 50 and we can find what is the average time for 50th unit if we are producing 50 units. And after the fourth quarter our cumulative units will become 60, which means we can apply x for we can apply 60 for x and we can find the cumulative average time for fourth quarter, end of the fourth quarter. Then we can find the total time requirements, so we can find the difference. Right, okay, we'll go to the answer. So here you can see this is, we are using formula method. I said we can apply any output level in formula method. It's not like the tabular approach. Tabular approach only applicable when the output is getting doubled, but here we can apply it for any situation. So here we can see y equals x into the power b. So here we are applying 60, which means end of our fourth quarter. So a will be the first unit's time, 10 hours, x will be the cumulative output, 60, and b will be the index. So how to find log learning rate divided by log 2? So it will be minus 0.152. Try using your calculator and you can find this answer. So here in this lessons, don't listen to this particular lessons. Just take a paper and uh, pen and do the computations in your own. Use a calculator. Once I'm explaining, you try to do it in your own, then only you will get understand. This is not like other subjects. So management accounting is very critical in your syllabus. So try to do it in your own, right? So learning rate we can find, it is given 0.9, and we can find the learning index by log 0.9 divided by log 2. So here we can find b minus 0.152. So we can apply this formula, y equals ax into the power b, y equals 10 into 60 is our end of fourth quarter output, into the power b. So we can find 5.37 hours. So this will be the cumulative average time if we are producing 60 units. So if we are producing 50 units, cumulative average time will be 5.52 hours. So here 10 into the power 10 multiplied by 50 is cumulative output, which means end of third quarter, into the power b. So just a matter of applying this x. If x is 50, end of third quarter, our time requirement will be 5.52 per unit. It is average time. If end of fourth quarter, here we can see our average time requirement will be 5.37. So here 5.5 to 5.37. After the third quarter, we improved our performance because of learning curve theory. තේරුණාද? තුන්වෙනි කාර්තුවේදී සාමාන්‍ය කාලේ 5.52යි, හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේදී සාමාන්‍ය කාලේ 5.37යි. මේ කාලය අඩු වුණේ learning curve theory එක හින්දා ළමයි. Right, so we can find here if our cumulative output is 50, our average time will be 5.52. If our cumulative output is 60, our average time requirement will be 5.37. So we can find the total time requirement. So 50 multiplied by average time, 276 will come. It is total time if we produce in 50 units. 5.37 into 60, so 322.2, it will be the total time requirement if we are producing 60 units. එතකොට ළමයි අපි 60ක් ඇදුවොත් යන කාලය තමයි 322.2. අපි 50ක් ඇදුවොත් යන කාලය තමයි 276ක්. ඒ කියන්නේ 50 කියන්නේ තුන්වෙනි කාර්තුව අවසානයේදී, 60 කියන්නේ හතරවෙනි කාර්තුව අවසානයේදී. එතකොට හතරවෙනි කාර්තුව අවසානයේදී මෙච්චර කාලයක් යනවා. එතකොට මේ දෙකේ වෙනස තමයි පැය 46.2. So this will be the incremental time for 10 units. So incremental time for fourth quarter will be 46.2. So this will be the time requirement for fourth quarter. But in this question they are not asking that. The question is what is the average time per unit in fourth quarter? හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ එක යුනිට් එකකට යන කාලය අහන්නේ. එතකොට හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවට යන සමස්ත කාලය තමයි මේක. එතකොට හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ අපි හදනවා යුනිට් 10ක්. So what you want to do, the time requirement for fourth quarter should be divided by the output of fourth quarter of 10 units. So we can find 4.62 will be the time requirement for 1 unit in fourth quarter. So in fourth quarter we can see the time requirement for 1 unit will be 4.62 hours. So here you can apply this 4.62 and we can find the cost per unit in fourth quarter. So here our question, calculate the standard cost per unit for fourth quarter. එක unit එක cost එක හොයන්න හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ. So this is the standard cost format, standard costing sheet for first unit. So now we are applying the same formula. 10 kilograms won't change. හතරවෙනි කාර්තුවේ අපි එකක් හැදුවා කියලා අපිට ළමයි එක unit එකකට ඕනේ කිලෝග්‍රෑම් 3යි. එතකොට කිලෝග්‍රෑම් 10යි. හතරෙන් කාර්යත්වයක් හැදුවත් අපිට ඕනේ කිලෝග්‍රෑම් 10යි. So the same information will be there. So 10 into 3, 30,000. 10,000 into, sorry, 10 kilogram into 3,000, it will be 30,000. Now this is the important thing. When we are producing 1 units, our time requirement was 10 hours. When we are producing first unit, our time requirement was 10 hours. Now if we are producing 60 units, what will happen? In our fourth quarter, our average time requirement will be 4.62 hours. So here 4.62 hours, 4.62 hours we can apply for both direct labor and direct variable cost, other variable overhead. So here we can see 4.62 into the rate will be same 9,000, 4.62 into 5,000. So here we can find the standard cost of a product in quarter number 4. අපි quarter number 4 එකේ හදන එක unit එක standard cost එක තමයි මේ එන්නේ. So 94,680 will be our standard cost of a product at quarter number 4. Clear? Clear? Right. So what happened? Only thing is, if you are producing the first unit, our time requirement was 10 hours. If you are producing now more than 50, which means between 50 and 60 per unit, average time requirement will be this much. Why? Between 50 and 60 for 10 units, we need this much of time requirement that is computed here, which means per 1 unit, the average time will be 4.62. It is already concluded. Clear? This is the answer for part A. Now we'll move to the part B. Part B is more interesting because they are saying the learning curve impact is coming to a steady state. The peak they are achieving at 50th unit. ඒ කියන්නේ 50 වෙනි එකකේ හැදුවට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට කාලය අඩුවීමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. 50 වෙනි එකකින් පස්සේ මේක ස්ථාවර මට්ටමක පවතිනවා. ඒකට හේතු දෙකක් මම කිව්වා. එකක් මේ ශ්‍රමිකයන්ගේ ධාරිතාවයට ළඟා වුණාට පස්සේ උපරිම ධාරිතාවයට සහ machines යන්ත්‍ර සූත්‍රවල උපරිම ධාරිතාවයට ළඟා වුණාට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට කාලය අඩුවීමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතර 50 වෙනි එකකේ තමයි යාගේ හොඳම කාලය. ඒතර 50 වෙනි එකකේ යන කාලය තමයි එතනින් එහාට 60ක් හැදුවත් 70ක් හැදුවත් එයාට වළංගු වෙන්නේ. Right. So how to find the 50th units time or 50th units cost? So that is interesting. So here the same formula we can apply. Here what we did, we applied 60 and 50 and we found the fourth quarter cost. So to find the 50th unit cost, what we can do, the logically we can apply 50 for x and we can apply 49 for x. අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් එක දෙයයි තියෙන්නේ. අපිට පුළුවන් x ට 50 සහ x ට 49 ආදේශ කරන්න. x ට 50 ආදේශ කරොත් මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ ළමයි? 50 වෙනි එකක 50ක් ඇදුවොත් යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය. එතකොට ඒකක 50ක් ඇදුවොත් යන සාමාන්‍ය කාලය අපි කලිනුත් හෙව්වා. It is 5.52. So what we can do, we can apply 49 for x and we can find what is the average time requirement per unit. So if we are producing 49 units, average time will be 5.535. If we are producing 50 units, average time requirement will be 5.520, which means this is the average time requirement. This is the average time requirement. So we can't take the difference between these two. It is why this is the average time requirement. මෙතනදී කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඒකක 49ක් හැදුවොත් එකක් හදන්න යන කාලය. මෙතනදී මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? ඒකක 50ක් හැදුවොත් එකක් හදන්න යන කාලය. එතකොට අපිට මොකද්ද කරන්න පුළුවන්? අපිට ඕනේ 50 වෙනි ඒකකයට යන කාලය. So how to find? But we want to find the total time first. So what we want to do, 49 should be multiplied by average time. So we can find 271.2. 50 should be multiplied by 5.520. It is 276. So the difference between this total time, here you can see if we produce 49 units, our total time will be 271.2. If we produced 50 units, our total time will be 276. මෙතන තියෙනවද ළමයි? අපි ඒකක 49ක් හැදුවොත් මුළු කාලය යනවා 271.2. අපි 50ක් හැදුවොත් අපිට යනවා මුළු කාලය 276ක්. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ? 49ක් සහ 50ක් හැදුවොත් මේ කාලේ වෙනසක් එන්නේ ඇයි? 49 ඉඳන් 50ට එක ඒකකයයි. ඒ කියන්නේ 50 වෙනි ඒකකය. කාලය වෙනස එනවා 4.8ක්. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේකෙන් කියන්නේ? 50 වෙනි ඒකකයේ සඳහා යන කාලය එකක් හදන්න 4.8ක්. You can see between this 49 and 50, the incremental units are 1. Here you can see between this 276 and 271.2, the incremental time is 4.8. So 4.8 hours required to produce our 50th units. That you need to understand. So clearly you won't understand, to produce this 50th unit you need 4.8 hours. After the 50th unit there won't be any improvement in your time, which means it will come to a steady state. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද 50 වෙනි එකකින් පස්සේ ඔය steady state එකකට එනවා, which means the 4.8 will be your maximum time. That means after the achieving the learning curve benefit, this will be the maximum situation, which means this is the best option for you, which means after the 50th unit there won't be any improvement, so this is the improved performance. So 4.8 will be continued for the rest. So 50th units time is 4.8, so we can use this 4.8 for your further quarters. So this will be achieved after the end of quarter number 3. So end of the quarter number 3, 4.8 will be the our requirement per unit. එතකොට අපි 50 වෙනි එකකින් පස්සේ, ඒ කියන්නේ 3 වෙනි කාර්යයේ අවසානයෙන් පස්සේ එක එකක් හදන්නේ යන කාලේ 4.8ක්. මොකද අපි කියන 50 වෙනි එකකින් පස්සේ කාලය ස්ථාවර වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ එතනින් එහාට 4.8 ආය 4.7 ඒ වගේ අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ, 4.8ම තමයි. එයි අපි steady state එකකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. So we can use the 50th units time for the rest. So 50th units time is 4.8 hours. So 4.8 hours we can apply for our fourth quarter as well. තේරුණාද? එතකොට මේ 4.8 එක අපිට හතරවෙනි quarter එකකටත් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. So here this is the standard cost per unit of a product in fourth quarter if this steady scenario is applied. තේරුණාද? මේ steady scenario එක apply කරොත් හතරවෙනි කාර්යයේ හදන්න යන පිරිවැය එක යුනිට් එකකට මේ ගාන. ඒ කියන්නේ හතරවෙනි කාර්යයේ අපි එක යුනිට් එකක් හැදුවොත් අපි යන පිරිවැය තමයි 97.2ක් දහස් වලින් රුපියල් වලින් කියනවනම් 97200. So you won't understand that if you are producing 1 unit in fourth quarter, our cost will be 97,200 if this steady scenario is applied. This is if steady scenario is applied, which means after the 50th units we are coming to a steady state. In the previous question, 94,680 is the average, the cost per 1 unit in fourth quarter if learning curve theory is applies, which means we can get the further improvements. මේකෙදි කියන්නේ learning curve theory එක තියෙද්දි එහෙනම් අපිට පිරිවෙ අඩු කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් 94.68යි. නමුත් මෙතනදී 97.2යි හේතුව 50න් පස්සේ ආයි improvement එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Clear? Right. So this question I have marked as important question. So here I have put a star mark. So you try to solve this problem in your own. If you can sort out this problem, you are ready for the examination in this chapter. Right. Now we are coming to the final part of this chapter. Relevance of learning curve effects in management accounting. What is the relevance? So why this learning curve theory is important in your management accounting. So now you understand what is the learning curve theory, when it applies, what are the methods that we can use, tabular approach, graphical approach and algebraic approach. Now we are going to the practical application of this particular learning curve effect. So where we can use, so calculate the marginal cost of making extra unit of a product. So we can use this learning curve theory for this particular purpose. What is the purpose? We can calculate the marginal cost of making an extra unit of product. We can find how we can find. So here in this previous question we applied 249 and 250 for x, and what we found the cost for 50th unit or marginal cost of 50th unit. So it is easy to find the marginal cost using this particular formula. What is the formula? Y equals ax into the power b. How we can find? Just we want to find the figures for x. So output is 100, output is 200. If you want to find the marginal cost between 100 and 200, what we want to do? We can apply 100 and 200 for x, and we can take the y values for both scenarios, and we can find the total time, and we can get the difference. So easily we can get the marginal cost or marginal time for extra units of product, right? So this example you already did, right, in previous example, which means for the to find the marginal cost or marginal time or marginal resource requirement, easily we can use this formula or this particular learning curve theory, and we can find the answer. Quote selling prices. So obviously to quote our selling prices, we can take the use of this learning curve effect. Previously we did some questions. To prepare realistic production budgets. To prepare realistic production budgets, what we can do? We can use this particular learning curve theory. So if you are without the learning curve theory, we can take a lower production budgets. So if we consider the learning curve theory as well, means what we can do? We can get more production outputs. So without, let's say, without learning curve theory, we are expecting 100 output. But if we consider the learning curve theory carefully, obviously we can expect more than 100. Why? There is a learning curve theory. Obviously the output can be 105, 106, whatever. So this increased output as a result of learning curve theory. So to get the realistic production budgets, we can use this. Design more efficient production schedules. So after producing these production budgets, we can decide efficient production schedules. To decide over times and all, we can consider about this particular learning curve theory. Prepare realistic standard cost for cost control purposes. Yes, obviously for cost control purposes, we can prepare realistic standard cost. Or otherwise, if we are not considering about the learning curve theory, means we will say for the first unit we need labor cost 500. So the second unit we need 1000. For third unit we need 1500. Likewise, we will do a straightforward computation, but for the labor it's not like that. It should be more realistic. For labor it should be more realistic. For therefore we can incorporate learning curve theory into your standard cost computations. As a result, what we can do, we can have a best cost controlling. We can have a better cost controlling. Now the cessation of the learning effect or reasons for steady state. අපි මෙතනදී කතා කරන්නේ learning curve impact එක නතර වෙන අවස්ථා සහ එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා මේක steady state එකකට නැත්නම් ස්ථාවර තත්වයකට පත් වෙන්න හේතු. හේතු තුනක් අපි කතා කරනවා. එකක් machine efficiency එක අපි කලින් කතා කරා. machine වල උපරිම capacity එකට ආවට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට අපිට මේක improve කරන්න බෑ. workforce capacity මම කලින් කතා කරා. ඒ කියන්නේ production machine capacity එක ගේම අපිට human resource එකකට තියෙනවා capacity එකක්, physical capacity එකක්. ඒ capacity එක reach කරාට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට අපි ආය efficiency එක වැඩි කරන්න බෑ. go slow agreements. මේක ඇවිල්ලා අර අකුරට වැඩ කිරීම නැත්තම් නියමිත ක්‍රියාපටිපාටියට පමණක් වැඩ කිරීම, මේ වගේ දේවල්. මෙතනදී මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? employeesලා කිසියම් කාලයක් දීලා තියෙනවා. එක යුනිට් එකකට ඔයා පැය 5ක් කරනවා. එයා හැම එකකෙකින් පැය 5 ගානේ ගන්නවා. ඉතින් එහාට එයා වැඩිපුර වැඩ කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතන motivation එකක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ අකුරටම වැඩ. මෙතනදී motivation එකක් නැති අවස්ථාවක්. So here we can see three scenarios. Machine efficiency, if the machine's capacity is reached to their maximum, so we can't expect any more this learning curve impact. If the workforce, if they reach to their physical capacity, maximum physical capacity, thereafter we can expect any further improvements. Go slow agreements, if the particular employees are working according to the agreement, so they are not improving their performance. So if let's say for one unit they are estimated 5 hours, so for second unit to produce 2 units they take 10 hours, which means for each unit they take 5 hours. So there won't be any motive to improve their performance. So those are go slow agreements. Go slow agreements. So obviously they take that estimated time. So there won't be any improvement. So at that situation, or workforce capacity reached their maximum capacity, or machines are reached to their capacity levels, the learning effect will be ceased. Clear? So either they can ask, this is reasons for steady. What are the reasons for steady state? So these are the reasons for steady state, which means thereafter there won't be any further improvements. In my previous question, after the 50th unit, time won't be reduced. So in this previous question, time won't be reduced. The time will be 4.8 because after the 50th unit, it came to steady state. මේ උදාහරණයෙන් පැහැදිලි කරන්නේ ඒක තමයි. ඒකට හේතු තුනක් අපි දැන් කතා කරා. මම කලින් ස්ලයිඩ්ස් වලත් මේක දෙපාරක් තුන්පාරක් එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරා. Finally, the limitations of learning curve theory. So what are the limitations? So we learn about this theory, how we can apply in management accounting, what are the practical benefits we can get. So now we are going to talk about the limitations. So the first limitation is the learning curve phenomenon is not always present. So this is not always practicable, right? Why? If there are 3-4 employees or there are 50-60 employees, we can't assume that each and every employee will be work in the same manner, because person to person their behavior pattern is different, their attitude is different. So this phenomenon is not always present, or this always not practicable. So this learning rate we are computing based on our previous experience. මේ 90 180 කියන එක අපිට හොයාගන්නේ පරණ experience භාවිතා කරලා. නමුත් ඒ දේ අපිට අනාගතයට ඒ විදිහටම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න බෑ. සමහරවිට ඒ විදිහටම එන්නේ නැහැ. It assumes stable conditions at work which will enable learning to take place. So stable working conditions we are assuming, but in practically it always not present, which means the stable conditions in your work environment won't be there for these practical conditions in your workforce won't be same in always, which means today I have these facilities, the electricity is there, other facilities are there, but tomorrow it can be changed, day after tomorrow it can be changed. So we can't expect a stable condition in your workplace. So if we can't expect a stable condition, means we can't expect a stable rate. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි වැඩ කරන පරිසරයේ තියෙන වෙනස්කම් ඇති වුණොත් අපිට ලර්නින් රේට් එකක් වෙනස් වෙනවා. දැන් මේ දවස්වල වෛරස් එකක් ඇති නිසා වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට ඒකේ ලර්නින් රේට් එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා අපිට ආයතනයේ තියෙන පරිසරයේ තියෙන සාධක වෙනස් වෙනත් එක්කම ලර්නින් රේට් එකක් අපිට ස්ථාරව තියෙනවා කියලා උපකල්පනය කරන්න බෑ. ඒ හින්දා අපි කියන මේක this is not always practicable. And some examples are labor turnover. එක උදාහරණයක් තමයි labor turnover. ඒ කියන්නේ අද ඉන්න සේවකයෝ හෙට ඉන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒක වෙනස් වෙනවා නම් ආයේ labor rate එක නැත්නම් learning rate එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. අද ඉන්න 100ක් ඉන්නවනම් සේවකයෝ ඒ 100ම ඉන්න ඕනේ තව අවුරුද්දකට. එහෙනම් අපිට පුළුවන් labor rate එකක් estimate කරන්න. අද ඉන්න කට්ටිය හෙට වෙනස් වෙනවා නම් එතනදී labor rate එකක් හරියට learning rate එකක් හරියට estimate කරන්න බෑ. It must also assume that certain degree of motivation among employees. So here we are assuming there is a motivation among employees. අපි හිතන මෙතන සේවකයෝ තමන්ගේ කාර්ය අදට වඩා හෙට හොඳට කරයි කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ motivation එකක් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. අභිප්‍රේරණයක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. නමුත් අපි හැම සේවකයෙක්ගෙම මේක බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න බෑ. So it is not practicable. So here we are expecting a motivation among employees, but some due to the practical limitation it won't be there. So we can't expect the expected this learning rate won't come. So breaks between the repeating production of an item must not be too long, or worker will forget and learning process will have to begin all over again. So if there's any breakdowns between this process, this learning curve impact will be stopped. So again we want to start from the beginning. So if there's any breakdown in your working process, because this employee will forget about the process, then we want to start it all over again. දැන් මෙතනදී මේ දවස්වල කට්ටියට වැඩ නැහැ මේ වෛරස් සිටුේෂන් එක හින්දා. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? එම්ප්ලොයිස්ලා ගොඩක් කාලයක් ගෙදර ඉන්නේ. එතකොට එයාලට ප්‍රොසෙස් එක අමතක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් කලින් කරපු ස්පීඩ් එකට කරන්න බෑ. නමුත් ආය ආයතනයට ගියාට පස්සේ ආය මුල ඉඳන් ලර්නින් කර්ව් ඉම්පැක්ට් එක ගණනය කරන්න ඕනේ. නැත්නම් මේ මර මැදදී වෙන බ්‍රේක් කුණ පොයින්ට් එකට ලර්නින් කර්ව් ඉම්පැක්ට් එක අපිට ගණනය කරන්න බෑ. එතකොට අපි කියනවා ලර්නින් කර්ව් ඉම්පැක්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ආයතනයක වැඩ නතර නොවි අඛණ්ඩව තියාගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. හදිස්සිය හරි බ්‍රේක් ඩවුන් එකක් ආවොත් මේ ඉම්පැක්ට් එක අපිට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න බෑ. ආයෙ මුලින් ඉඳන් පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒතකොට ඒකත් එක ලිමිටේෂන් එකක්. So these are the limitations of learning curve theory. So most of the limitations are practical limitations, but theoretically this is a good approach. So in your exam, these are the exam focused areas where what are the areas that this learning curve theory can be linked. So obviously the variance analysis question or labor the variance analysis question, obviously they will the examiner will link this learning curve theory to your variance analysis question for your labor variances. So that is one key area. Or either they can link this learning curve theory to the pricing decision. So if your pricing is based on the cost at that point, there is an impact from this particular learning curve theory, because if the learning curve theory applies, your standard cost will be get changed. If your standard cost is get changed, it means your pricing will get changed. And for your budgeting purposes, when you are anticipating about your future, when you are preparing forecast, when you are preparing your next year budget, you can take the use of this particular learning curve theory. So most probably for the flex budgets, they can link this particular learning curve theory for flex budgets. So those things we can capture on the these respective chapters. Right, so I am come to the end. If you have any questions on this particular chapter, please come back to me, so I'll help you out how to sort of these problems. So don't waste your time in your home. Take this as your opportunity to learn, so you cover up your missed lessons, so you work out at your home. So this is a good opportunity for you. So obviously in future there will be a lot of job vacancies for chartered accountants. So on the other hand, there will be a higher fight in the market to get a job as well because of this crisis. So it is your responsibility to work out in your homes. So don't waste your time at home. Work out for past paper questions. Listen to this kind of online sessions, and go through your study text and ready for your examination. So good luck. Stay safe. I'll come to you from next chapter.